There is a moment, quiet but deafening, when a man looks in the mirror and can no longer recognize the fire that once lived in his eyes. That fire, the one that used to burn for greatness, for flight, for freedom, now buried beneath bills, doubt, distraction, comfort, and compromise. It didn't die overnight. It was smothered, slowly, by a world that fears powerful people. Because real power, the kind that doesn't need a crown or a paycheck to speak, that power is dangerous. And you were born with it. But they clipped your wings early, told you to sit still, to play nice, to wait your turn, to stay in line. And slowly, the eagle inside you, the one made to rise above storms, to see what others cannot see, to hunt vision with sharp clarity and strike with divine speed, that eagle fell asleep. You didn't lose your power, you just forgot how to access it. Because you've been hypnotized by comfort, sold lies dressed as logic, trained to survive, but never taught to soar. You were born for the sky, but raised in a cage. And every time your spirit tried to stretch its wings, you were told to be realistic, to play it safe, to keep your head down. They call it adulthood. They call it being responsible, but really, it's spiritual sedation. You are not tired. You are underused. You are not broken. You are buried. You are not weak. You are waiting. Waiting for permission. Waiting for perfect. Waiting for someone to come tap you on the shoulder and say, "Now you may rise." But no one is coming. You don't need a signal. You need a decision. Because somewhere, deep within the bones of your potential, lies the memory of movement, the memory of boldness, the memory of flight. It's not too late, but it is time to wake the eagle, to remember who you are when fear is not in control, to remember who you are when you stop comparing, begging, hiding, shrinking, to remember the version of you that doesn't apologize for existing. Because the world is not suffering from a lack of talent, it's starving for awakened souls. And no matter what the system has tried to do to you, no matter how many ceilings they built above your mind, no matter how long you've been caged by your own self-doubt, you must know this: you were born to rise. You are not here to fit in. You are here to elevate, to look beyond the fog of mediocrity and see the mountaintop of possibility, to hear the voice of greatness whispering in your soul, and finally answer it. You were created for flight. That's why walking through life feels so slow, so heavy, and in its place, a roar, a flight, a declaration. I will no longer be a prisoner of what I was told I could not be. That is the awakening. Not a speech, not a book, not a moment of hype, but a lifetime of clarity. That is what Napoleon Hill meant when he said, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Not just words, but a law, a truth, a fire that burns through every excuse until only belief remains. Because belief, real belief, is not soft. It is not fragile. It is not optional. It is the engine of transformation, the force that lifts men out of darkness, the oxygen of destiny. Without belief, the eagle starves. With it, it conquers mountains. So let this be the moment you look yourself in the soul and say, I am no longer asleep. I am no longer tame. I am no longer small. You were never meant to be domesticated. You were born to fly so high, your doubts can't breathe at your altitude. Your dreams were never foolish. You were just surrounded by people who gave up on theirs, so they mocked yours, laughed at your hunger, rolled their eyes at your ambition, called you too much. Because deep down they knew they were too little. But your vision is not a threat, unless it scares those still living small. And let it. Because if your vision doesn't make others uncomfortable, it's not big enough to change your life. You are not here to live by recycled routines and inherited fears. You are here to build, to birth, to become. Clarity is your weapon. Without clarity, the eagle flies in circles, chasing shiny things, burning energy, but going nowhere. Clarity is when you stop asking, what should I do? And start declaring, this is who I am. This is what I will become. You don't need more advice. You need more courage. You don't need more motivation. You need more clarity. Write it. Visualize it. Speak it aloud until your bones believe it. Because the world belongs to the obsessed, to those who see the outcome before it exists. This is not about arrogance. This is about alignment, knowing what you want and walking like you already own it. Every step you take, not because the sky is safe, but because his wings were made for battle. Clarity is not comfort, it's conviction. You will lose friends. You will confuse family. You will scare the timid. But you will become you. Not the mask you learned, not the watered-down, polite, predictable version of yourself. The real you. The one that wakes the world when you walk into the room. The one that doesn't shrink when things get hard, but sharpens, because vision without discipline is just a hallucination. And you are not here to hallucinate. You are here to execute. Not once, not when you feel like it, every day, with fire. Discipline is what separates dreamers from doers. It is what elevates men from noise to legacy. And when you align your belief with your clarity, your vision with your discipline, you become unstoppable. Not because you're perfect, but because you refuse to quit. The eagle falls, but he never crawls. He rises again, not because he knows he'll win, but because he knows he must. There is no plan B for those who burn with purpose. So rise, build the schedule, drown the noise, forgive the delays, and do what must be done every single day. Because your wings don't grow from comfort, they grow from commitment. Purpose is not something you find, it's something you remember. It's the voice you drowned out when you started listening to the world more than yourself. It's the ache you feel when your life looks fine but feels wrong. You weren't born to be fine. You were born to feel, to move, to ignite. Purpose isn't a job, it's a fire, and every day you ignore it, something in you quietly dies. But here's the truth. You don't need a perfect purpose. You just need to stop living without one. When a man wakes up with no purpose, he becomes easy to control. He drifts, he scrolls, he obeys, he numbs, and slowly he disappears. That's what the system wants. Souls asleep with eyes open. But you were made for more. When purpose grabs your spine, you walk different. You speak different. You stop begging for attention and start earning respect. You don't chase trends. You build standards. You don't wait to be chosen. You choose yourself. And yes, it will cost you. People will misunderstand you. Opportunities will vanish. Comfort will die. But peace will rise, that unshakable, immovable peace that only comes when your inside world matches your outside choices. And with purpose comes resistance. You will stumble, you will doubt, you will break. But adaptation is survival. But transformation is your birthright. Change is hard, but staying the same is unbearable, because the man who resists change is the man who slowly becomes irrelevant to the world and to himself. So let life sharpen you. Let adversity be your anvil. Let discomfort be your daily training. The eagle doesn't fear the wind. He rises on it. When the winds get louder, he flies higher. And when life screams, you answer with stillness, with focus, with gratitude. Gratitude? Yes. Gratitude is your weapon in the dark. Because when you learn to say, thank you, even for the fire, even for the rejection, even for the closed doors, you tell life, you can shape me, but you cannot shake me. Gratitude is power without arrogance. It's dominance with softness. It's the calm inside the chaos that says, I know who I am. I know why I'm here. And nothing will make me forget that. Every morning, look at your life, not for what's missing, but for what's building, not for what's wrong, but for what's rising. Gratitude opens the gates to abundance. It realigns your energy with victory. It tells the universe, I'm ready for more, because I've honored what I already have. And that is when life listens, not when you complain, not when you demand, but when you become a worthy steward of the gifts already within you. The world will try to name you, to tame you, to claim you. But the moment you accept their definition, you lose your destiny. You were not born to be labeled. You were born to be unleashed, unapologetically, unshakably, unstoppably. The eagle does not ask the pigeons for permission to rise. He flies because that's what he was built to do. And so were you. Stop dimming your fire because others are afraid of heat. Stop hiding your wings because small minds are allergic to flight. You are not here to entertain. You are here to awaken, to remind the sleeping what it means to be alive, to remind the broken what it means to be powerful, to remind yourself that the sky was never meant to be feared. It was meant to be conquered. This is the moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. This is the day you shed the excuses, bury the doubt, than your old identity. And no victory greater than becoming who you were always meant to be. You want freedom? Then earn it. Earn it by showing up when it's hard. Earn it by keeping promises when no one is watching. Earn it by walking away from mediocrity like it never deserved your presence in the first place. This is not about motivation. This is about revolution. And every revolution begins in the mind of one awakened soul. You are that soul. You are the storm the silence has been waiting for. You are the answer to the prayers you forgot you whispered. You are not trying to change your life. You are changing it. Right now, with every word you choose, with every breath you take, with every decision you make that says, I'm no longer the caged version of me. This is flight. This is freedom. This is the return of the eagle. So let the sky feel your wings again. Let the winds remember your roar. Let the world see what it looks like when a man refuses to die with his potential still inside him. You are not average. You never were. You were just asleep. But now, you're awake.